Why, hello everyone! Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Story Mode, and Girabanya, we got a little business out here today. A small amount of business, but important all the same. Let me explain. So, it's not very often that we do literal side quests in this playthrough because, I mean, obviously, have you seen how many hundreds of episodes we've done so far just doing the main important stuff? But every now and then there's a bit of side content that has a little extra relevance to the main story quest line, and this is one of them. It kind of stands out in that way. It's one of the quests that you would need to do to unlock Flight in this particular area, or at least the first quest in this little side quest chain. But it turns out that this quest chain has some extra relevance, and it seemed like a interesting opportunity to dip into one of these optional side quest chains just to sort of give you a taste of what sorts of things exist in abundance all around us as we just kind of charge through the main storyline in this playthrough. So, let's do a quick little side quest chain, shall we? Serpent Marshal Brookstone is in need of a soldier. By the way, this side quest chain unlocks at some point during the main 4.0 Stormblood campaign. So it is going to be assuming that you are not done with Stormblood in terms of what the characters are referring to and all that. So they might still be referring to Imperial presence and Alamigo and stuff like that. I don't know exactly what they mention in there, but just to let you know. Anyway, I accept. Derman Dirami of the Immortal Flames. A moment, if you would. The Alliance has seen fit to charge the Twin Adder with overseeing the occupation of Castramorians for the interim. As an adventurer, I realize it is your wont to attend to matters both great and small in all corners of the realm, though it should go without saying that you must also uphold your obligations to the Immortal Flames and the Eorzean Alliance. Thus, I would ask for your aid in a reconnaissance mission here in the Fringes. Pray, speak with Lieutenant Mulcahy when you are ready to receive a briefing. She will be overseeing the operation. Are you just drafting me in for random work? I did volunteer, I guess. I'm the one who came all the way out here and hit record. Okay, fine. Lieutenant Dirami from a different grand company, but still reporting for duty. Do my eyes deceive me? It can't be. But it is Derman Dirami, the Griffin's Bane himself. That's me, I guess. Yes, the great hero who defeated the Griffin atop Baelsar's wall, bringing his plans of conquest to a shuddering halt. I can think of no other title that so aptly befits your prowess. A pity no one else seems to think so. But enough of that. What brings the illustrious Griffin's Bane here to Castramorians? I don't even know yet. Serpent Marshal Brookstone's requested you assist in my investigation? This is such an honor. I'll do my best not to disappoint you. Oh, goodness me, where are my manners? Tala Mulcahy, Military Records Officer, at your service. I cannot offer much on the way of combat, but if you should have any inquiries regarding historical matters, you need only ask. Now then, let me apprise you of our current situation. Shortly after taking control of Castramorians, we discovered a number of confidential documents left behind by the Garleans, prisoner records dating back to the beginning of Alamigo's occupation. As you might have guessed, a great many were conscripted and sent away to subjugate new territories. A surprisingly large number were executed, as a reminder of what would happen should any step out of line. What we weren't expecting, however, was a number of prisoners listed simply as whereabouts unknown. We thought perhaps they met some ill fortune during their imprisonment or even escaped, but we could find no other documents to suggest what became of them. Be they living or deceased, it's now our duty to find them. Not just for our own records, mind you, but their loved ones as well. They deserve the peace of mind of knowing what happened here. Would that this were a recent incident, though. It'll be no easy task ascertaining their whereabouts after 20 years, but I believe I know where we might begin our investigation. The Ananta have called these lands home long before even the Alamegans came to settle here. And, as luck would have it, the Resistance has established cordial relations with their people. Perhaps they remember something of what happened all those years ago. Worth asking, I guess. Lead the way. So, where'd you go? Oh, here we go. I certainly hope the Ananta remembers something of use. Can't hurt to ask. Alamigan prisoners captured 20 years ago. Yes, I remember. When the Garleans gained their foothold here, they interned any and everyone. Striders, Ananta, it mattered not. Most were forced to serve in the Garlean military, dispatched to other lands from which they would never return. If I'm not mistaken, the prisoners who remained were taken to a small village to the south. I cannot say what transpired there, but the settlement was heavily guarded. I fear the worst for them. A settlement to the south? Why, that would have to be Bittermill. I recall records of its residents seeking asylum in Gridania when the Garleans first arrived. The place was all but razed to the ground. Let's begin our search there. Perhaps something of value still remains in the rubble. All right, I'll meet you there. Come on, Quay friend. Lieutenant! I just realized you and I are the same rank, huh? Oh, hang on. What are Garleans doing here? They cannot be allowed to leave. Get them! Yeah, you guys shouldn't still technically be here, but that's what happens when you go and do content a bit late, isn't it? Oh well. Clear out, stragglers. Ah! And there he goes. Handled. You okay? Goodness, that smarts. Perhaps I should have devoted more time to combat training. Although no amount of training would make me a match for the renowned Griffin's Bane. That was a magnificent display. Garlean soldiers were certainly the last thing I expected to find in these abandoned and otherwise forgotten buildings. Yeah, especially given, well, doesn't matter. I managed to catch them unawares, but I'm quite certain this investigation would have ended poorly had you not arrived. Still, I find this quite curious. The Garleans were said to have retreated from this area. What are they doing here? I'm afraid our search for answers has only raised more questions. If we're to make sense of any of this, we must search this place from top to bottom. After my heart returns to my chest. Yes, deep breaths. There you go. I'll give you a second. In and out. Hey, flight. That'll help. Hey, you feeling better? Lieutenant Malko seems to have regained a sense of calm. Sorry to keep you waiting. I fear the battlefield is no place for a bookworm. If the gods are kind, we'll encounter no further distractions. Now let's begin our search. We'd like to cover more ground if we split up. Hopefully there's still some trace of the prisoners left here. Let's start looking for clues. A locked door. The cloying stench of rotting debris fills your nostrils. You are unable to discern where the odor's coming from. Footprints? Haven't gotten to flex my detective muscles in too long in this playthrough. Upon closer inspection of the ground, you see footprints. Some of them appear to be fresh. Where's the last one? Should be one more clue out here. I will search from above. With my new powers of flight, there you are. A deserted house. This house is much too clean to have been abandoned for 20 years. Huh. This place is an unsettling sort of interesting. Tala. Let's compare notes. Ah, Derman. Thank goodness. I found someone while inspecting the houses. He seems unwell. Unwell? Unwell? No, definitely not. Certainly not. Yes, we're quite fine. But what of you? A little girl dressed in strange clothes. Quite strange, quite strange. But what? You have some nerve. Regardless of how I look, I'm a ranking officer of the Order of the Twin Adder, thank you very much. Now, who are you? What business do you have here? Who? Yes, who? An excellent question. You are you, but who are we? Yes, we would like to know very much. Very much. You don't remember? Well, is there anything you can remember? Remember. Yes, it's something about this place. Something familiar. Quite familiar. Derman, this is only a hunch, mind you, but I suspect he is not from this place. Considering he's Elysian, he's likely a Gridanian escaped from the Garleans. Or, perhaps... could he be one of the missing prisoners? It would certainly explain the Garlean soldiers from before. We need to take him back for questioning. Okay. Excuse me, sir, but would you be willing to come back with us? At the very least, it would be more comfortable than these dilapidated houses. And we may be able to help you recover your memory. Memories. Sweet memories. Yes, we would like them very much. Very much. All right then, let's return to Castromorians. My browbeating commander will likely wish to meet you. I suppose it can't be helped. I'll meet you there. Come on, Quay friend. Let's fly! As much as it sucks having to wait for the power of flight, it sure is gratifying once you do finally get it. Less talkative now, huh? If he really is one of the missing prisoners, this could be the defining moment of my career. Even Serpent Marshal Brookstone's sure to take notice. Well, we'll see, huh? Possibly one of the missing prisoners, you say? I expected such wild claims from Lieutenant Malko, but if you would corroborate her report, perhaps this warrants investigation. Until further notice, he shall stay under the protection of the Eorzean Alliance. Sir, with all due respect, you cannot just... Lieutenant Malko, get this man a hot meal and a warm bed. When he's had a bit of rest, see what he knows of Bittermill and the Garleans. It should not be long before we reach a resolution to all this. You're free to wait here until she finishes questioning our new detainee. Okay. Maybe I better go check in on them, or... You need something first? The look on Serpent Marshal Brookstone's face suggests he has grown tired of waiting, but it's been 30 seconds. I imagine Lieutenant Malko has finished questioning the detainee by now. Go and see what, if anything, she's learned. Alrighty. Lieutenant, Tala, how's it going? Oh, Derman, I've just finished with the questioning. Unfortunately, he can recall absolutely nothing of his past. The only thing he's certain of is that he escaped from Garlean captivity. I'm beginning to believe he really is one of the missing prisoners. But where does Bittermill fit into all of this? I fear we've reached an impasse. It's not as if we can ask the Garleans what they were doing there. Or perhaps we can. The soldier who escaped us earlier must know something to have been prowling about the area. He has to be taken to custody. Come, Derman, we must speak with Serpent Marshal Brookstone about assembling a search party. No stone can be left unturned. Oh, he'll love this, I bet. Serpent Marshal! You wish to capture the soldier you encountered at Bittermill. Well, you should know I've already dispatched a reconnaissance team. After reading Lieutenant Malko's report, I thought it prudent to be he be apprehended immediately. However, therein lies the rub. We lack the manpower to sufficiently survey the area. In fact, I was just deliberating over who I should call back to make a sweep of Owen's stash. There's no need for that, sir. Derman and I'll go. I realize I'm not the ideal scout to assist in this, but we have to find them. And there she goes. You're cool with this, I assume? Yeah, I'm just gonna go. Lieutenant! Where are you hiding? There you are. Oh, you found a cave. By the way, I double-checked when this quest unlocks, and it's apparently accessible at, like, level 61, which is pretty early on in Stormblood, so I'm guessing it pretty soon after we were able to access this area, maybe soon after we reached Rogger's Reach. At that point, this questline would probably be accessible, so pretty early on. Not that it matters. On your guard, Derman. I have a bad feeling about this place. Maybe you should let me go in front, huh? Griffin's Bane and all that? Tala? Huh. Oh. We found him, Derman. We really found him. What are you? Oh. These wounds. If he's not treated soon, he won't be telling anyone anything. He's like to bleed out if left unattended. Go and tell Serpent Marshal Brookstone we found him, and he needs medical assistance before he can be moved. Okay. On the job. Come on, quick friend. Serpent Marshal. I have a report. My men have searched high and low, yet there is no sign of this runaway soldier. Yeah, shut up, I have news. You found him at Owen's stash. Say no more. Attention, this is Brookstone speaking. The subject has been found at Owen's stash. I repeat, the subject has been found at Owen's stash. He is severely wounded and in need of medical attention. Excellent work. Perhaps now we can finally get to the bottom of all this Bittermill business. Perhaps so. All right, I think just, one quest more. Side quests tend to be a good bit faster than the mainline quests, generally. They can still be quite interesting, though. Serpent Marshal Brookstone is eager to know what became of the injured Garlean soldier. By all rights, my men should be back by now. Go and see if you can find Lieutenant Mulko. I want to know what those Garlean dogs were up to. You got it. Derman away! Oh, wait, I'm not supposed to go that far. I thought you were still out there. What are you doing here? Ah, Derman. I'm happy to report we managed to bring him back safely, and not a minute too soon. I planned to speak with him shortly after returning, but the healers won't permit anyone to see him until he's settled and the bleeding stopped. I imagine we won't have to wait very long. Well, okay. I'll keep you company while we wait. Doop-de-doo. So, bad weather we're having. Don't suppose you guys have thought of installing some more lights out here? It seems he's finally fit to speak. I don't expect you to be grateful, but I'd like to remind you you likely wouldn't be standing here if we hadn't found you in that cave. Now start talking. What were you doing out there at Bittermill? We were looking for someone. An escapee from one of our facilities. He'd lost his memory and was otherwise mentally unstable, so we knew he couldn't have gone far. I believe the man you're speaking of is already in our custody. We found him seeking shelter in Bittermill. He claims you captured him, though he cannot recall where. So he returned to Bittermill after all. I guess the past came back to haunt him, even if he can't remember it. Listen, my superiors are not like to show you any leniency. If you tell me everything you know, I'll do all within my power to see your life is spared. Do we have a deal? Miss, I may be dressed in their uniform, but you'd be mistaken to believe I owe the Garleans any allegiance. I'll gladly tell you. 20 years ago, a group of prisoners was relocated to Bittermill to assist in the Garleans' more unorthodox experiments. They wanted to create a new chemical weapon, one that would leave buildings untouched, while killing any and everyone it came into contact with. Black Rose, I believe it was called. That's horrible. Their intention was to drive back Eorzean forces without wasting any of their own on the front lines. Of course, they wouldn't know if it really worked without willing volunteers. And what better place than a village long since abandoned by its people? Not a single prisoner survived. With their tests proving a resounding success, it was only a matter of time before Black Rose would be deployed. Or so they thought. To the surprise of many, the project was shut down before Black Rose could ever be used. The order came from the legatus of the 14th Imperial Legion and interim leader of the Alamegan province, Gaius van Baelsar. The Black Wolf would not allow the senseless murdering of Eorzea's people. He saw them as future subjects of the Empire to be ruled, not savages to be slaughtered. Everything was to be destroyed, but the man behind the project would not see his work wasted. and he ran off with the last remaining samples of Black Rose. He was promptly apprehended, but he'd already hidden away his work. They used every heinous tool at their disposal to make him talk, yet he would not, or rather could not, tell them where he hid it. The doctor had already gone mad and couldn't remember a thing. I can only assume one of his experiments went wrong and ruined his mind in the process. Then that means the man we found earlier... that's him. Grillerme, I think. Former head of research for the 14th Imperial Legion. My. Thanks for talking. That would have taken us a lot longer to figure out. My orders were to recapture Grillerme and destroy whatever evidence remained of his work in Bittermill. We failed to find anything, but it's there. You can't kill that many people and leave nothing behind. I can't believe that incoherent mess of a man was a scientist in service to the Garleans. I think we've heard enough. Thank you for your cooperation. Well, good luck to you. What do you think, Derman? A part of me wants to believe it isn't true, but I see no reason why he would lie to us. There has to be some way to substantiate his story. If the entirety of Bittermill was used for their experiments, it'd be no easy feat to do away with the evidence of such a massive operation. No, there would have to be some lingering traces of their work. And if they couldn't dispose of it, their only option would be to bury it. Derman, we have to go back to Bittermill. I agree. Right behind you. Here we are. Found anything? All right, let's split up. There has to be something here, and I'm not leaving until we find it. Okie dokie. Oh, that's a big area to search. Okay, well. Quayfriend? Help me scout from the skies. Whoop. Hang on. Barren soil. There is nothing buried here. Oh. Well. The search resumes. Any luck? I don't doubt what the man said, but the thought of all those people dying on this very ground is revolting. A part of me hopes we don't find anything. Yeah, kinda same. Although if I do find something, I hope I find it soon. Large search radius. Wait a minute. Some barren soil right behind you. If this is what we're looking for, you're going to be so embarrassed. There's nothing buried here. Oh. Maybe you checked it already. Okay. The search continues again. Boy, this is one sneaky clue. Wait. Barren soil. Searching. Your digging reveals a small metal container, though you probably shouldn't touch it. Lieutenant Moko will want to know what you found. Huzzah! Success. Thanks, Quayfriend. That would have taken heck knows how long without you. And your new flight powers. You found something? Sure did. A metal container. Could it be the missing sample of Black Rose? So he was telling the truth after all. There's no time to be sentimental, nor hasty. Any mishaps in handling that container could prove disastrous. Let's report back to Serpent Marshal Brookstone. That's a good idea. I am not qualified for this. Let's get some experts out here. Serpent Marshal, I have updates. Lieutenant Mulco reporting, sir. we've discovered the identity of the man we thought to be one of the missing prisoners. He is Griller May, former chief of research for the 14th Imperial Legion, who oversaw the manufacturing of a chemical weapon known as Black Rose. After a thorough survey of Bittermill, we've discovered what we believe to be a sample of this weapon. We'd like to request assistance in retrieving it. Attention, this is Brookstone. A container we believe to contain a Garlean chemical weapon has been discovered at Bittermill. I need you to get out there and retrieve it immediately. As for the missing prisoners, they were used as test subjects for the Black Rose. There were no survivors. Sir, I don't believe we should allow the risk of such a weapon falling into the wrong hands. I agree, Lieutenant. After the weapon's been safely moved to a secure location, rest assured, we will see to its disposal. As for Griller May, I'm probably saying that so wrong, his fate resides with the Council. Considering the weight of his crimes, his punishment will be quite severe. I almost pity the man, but memories or no, his crimes cannot be excused. Lieutenant Mulko, Derman, you've done well today, and I'm sure you're both quite tired. Go and rest. You've earned it. Actually, I think I'll be heading back to Gridania to write up a report. The events of Bittermill need to be recorded, that we might prevent such atrocities from happening again. I wish I could accompany you a while longer, but I'm sure the Great Griffin's Bane is needed elsewhere. Thank you again for all of your help. I look forward to adding your feats of daring to our record someday. Appreciate it. Nice meeting you. And there we go. That is the end of that little side quest chain. Most side quest chains don't really go much longer than that, but the stories can be quite interesting, and on occasion, the contents of those quests can actually come back and have some significance later. But I hope you've enjoyed this little side excursion. I'll see you next time when we get back to some more high-profile matters. Until then, goodbye!